So there are a couple things for certain. I will always hate the Washington Redskins. I'll always call the professional football team in Washington, D.C., our beloved nation's capital, the Washington Redskins, despite the NFL franchise nowadays being called the Washington Commanders. Just like the pro baseball team, the MLB squad in Cleveland, they're the Guardians nowadays, but to me, they'll always be the Cleveland Indians. That's just the way it's going to be. This meme here, it kind of sort of does say it all. You know? It's true. Before woke, the old mascots, yes, they were cool. Look at Chief Wahoo in all his glory. May he live on forever. May the Redskins live on forever. As much as I hate the Redskins, oh, that damn song again. Hail to the Redskins, as you hear it, play in the background. I do respect the fact that not only does this pro team have a fight song, but they have the pageantry, the camaraderie with their fans that a big-time college program, say the likes of Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, you get my drift, has with their students. I respect, I admire that, despite hating them. I remember the Redskins in all their glory. This has been a franchise that has been around forever, almost a century, since 1932. I remember growing up in the 80s and seeing those successful Joe Gibbs coached Redskin teams. They had the Smurfs as wide receivers, the Hogs for offensive linemen. That dude right there was a complete badass. John Riggins leading them to one of their two Super Bowls in the 80s and 82. They knocked off the Dolphins. They won another one in 87 with the great Doug Williams. Would win another Super Bowl in the early 90s. And they certainly have been one of the most dominant franchises in the NFL, let alone pro sports. Twice as many wins, over 1,300, than losses, over 600. And the Redskins, again, now named the Commanders, were back on the football map last year with some excitement and a dazzling, truly fabulous rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels, there he is, with some success deep into the playoffs. So the future is so bright for football in Washington, yeah, you need to wear shades. However, the name, it has come back full circle into discussion. Now, the Redskins made an ownership change about 5-6 years ago. And in the summer of 2020, they called it the Summer of Love. Not only did you have riots, but you had cancel culture in fifth gear. Everyone and everything seemed to get canceled. From Aunt Jemima, yes, Aunt Jemima, to Pepe Le Pew, to the Dukes of Hazzard, to Chief Wahoo, to the Redskins. For 2 years, they were named the Washington football team. Then they finally came up with the Commanders. Took them 2 years to get that weak-ass name official. Now, according to the Redskins owner, Josh Harris, who took over for the embattled former owner, Daniel Snyder, he says the name, it's here to stay.
Yes. And we're actually, I think it's now being embraced by our team, by our culture, by our coaching staff. And so, we're going with that.
Now, one detractor happens to be the commander-in-chief, President Trump. Washington, D.C., and the Redskins, along with the federal government, is trying to get a deal done in Washington for a new stadium and replace FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They want to get the stadium in the heart of D.C., make it a new age stadium with all the bells and whistles to pump some life and revenue into D.C. And President Trump, he's going to be a player in making this deal happen. He was asked a couple weeks ago. Here's a short that I have up here on the Red Dawn Media channel. Please do go ahead, like and subscribe. Share the links to any of the content. I do thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of the Red Dawn Media channel. So take a look and listen. Again, this is from a couple weeks back. President Trump was asked about the Redskins, the Commanders, the whole name of the organization, etc., etc. Let's hear POTUS 47.
Would you see the Commanders change the name back to Redskins?
Well, you want me to make a controversial statement? I would. I wouldn't have changed the name, but that's there. It just doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same ring to me. But you know, winning can make everything sound good. So if they win, all of a sudden the Commander sounds good. But I wouldn't have changed the name.
No, it does not have the same ring. President Trump, he's completely right. And winning, yeah, it does cure all ails. That's for certain. As I mentioned, the rookie quarterback has the organization back in the win column. So you can get away with calling them the Commanders because you are winning. We'll see what happens, because President Trump brought the issue back into play today. Blasted one out. I mean, a post on Truth Social. And I'll let you take a look at it for yourself. I'll read it out loud. President Trump, again, getting back into it about the Redskins and Commanders. Let's roll it up here on the screen. And he says, my statement on the Washington Redskins is totally blown up, but only in a very positive way. I may put a restriction on them that if they don't change the name back to the original Washington Redskins, in quotes, and get rid of that ridiculous moniker, Washington Commanders, in quotes, I won't make a deal for them to build a stadium in Washington. The team would be much more valuable, and the deal would be more exciting from everyone. Cleveland should do the same with the Cleveland Indians. The owner of the Cleveland baseball team, Matt Dolan, who is very political, has lost 3 elections in a row because of that ridiculous name change. What he doesn't understand is that if he changed the name back to the Cleveland Indians, he might actually win an election. Indians are being treated very unfairly. Make Indians great again, in parentheses, mega. All right, I'm down with that. Part of MAGA, mega. Why not? And it really is interesting. If you look at the Redskins logo, and you look at who created it, talk about a meme, it kind of says it all right here. When you're so woke that a Blackfeet chief drawn by a Blackfeet artist approved by the Blackfeet Nation is considered offensive to white people. And the Redskins logo, developed in 1971, is based upon a composite of Native American photographs, including one of the 20th century Blackfeet chief, 2 guns, white calf, born near the Cut Bank Creek on the Blackfeet Reservation. So there you have it, right? It's a tribute. They're paying homage with a logo that the Blackfeet Nation derived. They use their artistic talents to come up with. So you take away from the Native Americans and you come up with the silly Commanders. Like I've said before in some of these videos, it's really a matter of time will tell. And you know what? Throw in this cliche. Never say never. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the Commanders suddenly became the Redskins and lived happily ever after. Once again, they'll always be the Redskins to me.